They say the internet forgets nothing, but sometimes it hides things too well. In early 2025, a grainy clip began circulating through encrypted channels. A man in a tiled room, a single flickering bulb, and what looks like a ritual turned murder. No metadata, no source, no clue who filmed it. Within hours, the file vanished, banned, deleted, uploaded under hundreds of fake names. Some call it performance art. Others claim it's the first true snuff film ever caught online. But every copy carries one strange signature, a faint voice whispering in Vietnamese. He's still watching. Tonight we open the file the world tried to erase, the Vietnamese Butcher. It started as nothing more than a rumor, a name whispered through the darker corners of Telegram and Discord. The Butcher's tape. No one knew who uploaded it first. Some claimed it appeared on a small Vietnamese gore forum that was shut down hours later. Others said it came from an encrypted archive titled simply VB_001.zip. Clip itself was less than 3 minutes long, silent, shaky, filmed from a fixed corner of a tiled room. A man stands in frame, his face obscured by a surgical mask. His hands move methodically, almost ritualistically, over something on the floor that remains out of sight at first glance. It could have been performance art, the kind you'd see in an underground exhibit obsessed with shock value. But then came the detail that froze everyone who saw it, a faint reflection in the tiles, a human face, motionless, staring upward. Every upload of the video vanished within hours. On YouTube, it was flagged as graphic violence. On X, content violation. But on dark web mirrors, it multiplied, pixelated, renamed, distorted. Each new version carried subtle changes. A new timestamp, a reversed frame, an added whisper. Some versions included audio, a low, rhythmic sound almost like breathing through metal. Others contained a flash of a newspaper headline written in Vietnamese, dated 2018, mentioning a butchered family in Binh Xuang province. No record of such an event exists online. Investigators tried to trace the original. They found fragments of metadata coordinates pointing to a rural district outside Ho Chi Minh City, and a Vietnamese word etched faintly into one frame, GC, the old one. That's when the theories began. Was it an art hoax? A ritual killing, or something older, something recorded to be watched? Not just once, but forever? When the name GC surfaced, online sleuths began digging through every trace of Vietnamese folklore. It wasn't a person. It was an old phrase appearing in pre-colonial manuscripts to describe the one who returns, a spirit bound to repeat acts of violence as memory. Not malice. That idea infected the forums. Each re-upload of the clip carried something different. New lighting, a shifting reflection, sometimes a handprint appearing where none existed before. Viewers claimed the video changed depending on who watched it. That details moved like living code. Self-proclaimed archivist from Hanoi claimed to possess the original tape. He uploaded still frames showing a red symbol drawn in blood across the floor tiles, 3 intersecting circles. Surrounded by a pattern of blades. Days later, his account went dark. By then, the symbol had appeared elsewhere, carved into walls of abandoned butcher shops in Da Nang. Spray-painted under bridges in Ho Chi Minh City, local police dismissed them as copycat acts. Yet surveillance footage near one site caught something disturbing. A man wearing the same surgical mask, standing motionless at 3:07 a.m., staring at the camera before walking out of frame, every theory fractured. Was this a viral art movement? A collective delusion? Or evidence of something older moving through digital space, feeding on those who try to archive it? Investigators who analyzed the audio later discovered a pattern in the static, a repeating sequence that, when translated through waveform analysis, spelled 3 English words: "Do not watch." For a while, the mystery went quiet. No new uploads. No new sightings. Only silence, the kind that feels planned. Then a Reddit thread appeared under a throwaway account named Nguyen_13. It contained 12 still images pulled from a corrupted drive, each one slightly more decayed than the last. In the final frame, the masked man kneels beside a symbol drawn not in blood this time, but in salt. Users translated the captions embedded in the metadata. Cycle 2 begins where the flesh fails. Within hours, the account deleted itself soon after. People began reporting odd phenomena: hard drives failing when the file was opened, phones overheating. One user claimed the video started playing by itself at 3:07 a.m. Even though he deleted it days earlier. Skeptics blamed malware. Others said the clip wasn't digital anymore. A cybersecurity group calling themselves Spectral Trace launched an analysis. They discovered that frames 172 to 180 contained QR-like patterns that, when decoded, led to an old YouTube channel created 14 years ago. The channel's only upload: a 10-second black and white clip of the same tiled room, empty this time, except for faint chanting echoing beneath the static spectral. Trace took down their report within 24 hours. Their site now redirects to a blank, white page with a single sentence: "He is done watching." Yet, the whispers persist in deep web corners, claims of new versions circulating again, updated with 2025 timestamps, each supposedly sharper, louder, closer. Some believe the Vietnamese Butcher was never a man at all, but a ritual, one that requires someone to watch in order to continue. 3 weeks after the Spectral Trace incident, the story slipped offline, then crawled back into the real world. Locals from a rural district outside Ho Chi Minh City began reporting strange lights near an abandoned slaughterhouse. The same coordinates hidden in the original video's metadata. A young journalist, Lei Than, decided to investigate. She streamed live on Facebook at 1:47 a.m., joking about chasing ghosts for clicks. Her tone was playful until the feed began to lag. The final minute showed her flashlight flickering across rusted hooks, condensation dripping from the ceiling, and a white circle drawn in salt around the center drain. Then silence. Her voice cut mid-sentence, and the camera dropped to the ground. It kept recording for 13 seconds. A single footprint pressed into the salt, bare, wet, and then the stream ended. Authorities labeled it technical failure. Her profile disappeared overnight. Her family's interviews were quietly removed from local news archives. Yet mirror uploads of her footage spread again, appearing on darknet channels re-encoded in lower resolution, as if degrading themselves deliberately. A week later, users worldwide began receiving compressed video files from an address named oldcycle@voidmail. Each clip lasted 5 seconds. Each showed the same slaughterhouse from a new angle. moving closer. Every time by the seventh file, the camera reached the doorway. Inside, a shape breathing, head tilted toward the lens, motionless except for a slow exhale that fogged the frame. Digital forensics confirmed identical timestamps. 307A. Man embedded deep in the audio spectrum. Beneath the static, spectrogram analysis revealed a single phrase in both English and Vietnamese. He is awake again. By late summer 2025, the Butcher phenomenon had spread far beyond Vietnam. Users in Poland, Argentina, and Japan began reporting files that followed the same pattern. 5 seconds long, time-stamped 3:07 a.m., and always ending with a static-filled breath. Researchers traced fragments of the footage to a peer-to-peer chain registered to a dead domain, cyclearchive.net. When restored through cached snapshots, the site displayed a manifesto written in shifting text, alternating between English and Vietnamese. It spoke of transmission through repetition, a belief that certain images could act as vessels, each viewing feeding a dormant presence called the returning one. What made it worse were the photos attached. Grainy shots of gatherings held in basements, parking structures, even art galleries, people standing inside salt circles, wearing surgical masks marked with 3 intersecting circles. Every event reportedly ended at the same minute. 3:07 Interpol flagged the imagery as performance art, but one analyst leaked an internal memo noting biometric similarities between several masked participants, and a man identified tentatively as Turn Dai Ki, a missing sound engineer from Ho Chi Minh City who vanished in 2019 after designing audio for an underground horror installation titled The Butcher's Memory. That exhibition was shut down after complaints of nausea and hallucinations from attendees. Police never found the original sound files, only white noise embedded with an irregular heartbeat pattern repeating exactly every 187 seconds. Now, as new Butcher clips continue to surface, viewers claim to hear that same heartbeat pulsing behind the static. Every version beats louder, clearer, as if the sound is no longer part of the recording, but something alive, listening back. By October 2025, the Butcher case had reached mythic status. Documentary channels refused to touch it. Academics called it a participatory hallucination. Yet the files kept spreading, each copy slightly altered, as if evolving. A final discovery came from an anonymous server in Iceland hosting a directory titled Forbidden_archive. Inside were hundreds of subfolders labeled by coordinates, every known upload point from Vietnam to Buenos Aires. At the root was one unreadable file, cycle-final.mp4. Its hash matched no known video. Those who opened it reported something strange. There was no image, no sound, only a faint pulse measured every 187 seconds. Researchers realized the pattern mirrored human heart intervals during deep REM sleep. The file wasn't playing video. It was recording. Server logs showed it activated the viewer's webcam for exactly 187 seconds, then it stopped. But when the user checked their drive afterward, a new folder appeared automatically, /VB_002.zip. No antivirus detected it. No system registered a download, and yet, inside the folder was a single thumbnail, the viewer's own reflection, frozen, eyes open, time-stamped 307. A.net communities began calling it the second cycle. Rumors claimed the butcher doesn't exist as a man or a spirit, but as a process, a digital ritual that rewrites itself through those who try to document it. Every archive entry becomes a vessel. Every viewer becomes a witness, and somewhere, hidden between corrupted frames and dead pixels, the same whisper continues, soft, calm, in Vietnamese. He never stopped watching. If you thought the horror ended here, you're wrong. What other dark rituals and forbidden practices are still being performed in secret? Dive deeper into the chilling world of haunted ceremonies, banned footage, and eerie folklore that refuses to stay buried. Click on the playlist to uncover terrifying recordings, lost evidence, and disturbing stories they never wanted you to see. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for weekly uploads of spine-tingling footage and dark tales that echo from the shadows. This is the Forbidden Archive, where the hidden truth and haunting evidence come to life.